Hi, thanks for joining me for this foundational yoga flow. Grounding and energizing, it's mostly out of tabletop pose, so use a cushion under your knees, a folded blanket if you need it. Tune into your breath and make your way into a tabletop. Align your wrists under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Tune into the abdominal breathing and exhale your way back into a child pose. Now inhale, round through the spine and work your way up through cat. Exhale to a neutral spine, tabletop. Now inhale, arch your spine, look forward into cow, and exhale back into child pose. We'll do this 2 more times. Inhale, round the spine, work your way up through gentle motions. And now exhale to tabletop, inhale to cow, and exhale back into child pose. Inhale, work your way through the spine. Exhale into neutral. Inhale and arch. And exhale, make your way back. Now, push your hands all the way forward or pull your knees all the way back. You can barely reach arm's length. Or do the same thing again. Roll up through the spine into a modified plank. And now melt down onto the mat all the way to your forehead. Keep your elbows in. Inhale, look up. Push through cobra. And then make your way back into child's pose. An exaggeration of what we just did. Twice more. Inhale, round and lengthen to plank. Exhale, melt down. Elbows in. Inhale, look up, push up, chest forward through cobra, and then exhale your way back into child pose. 1 more time. Make it easy for you because this is a warm-up. But think about the length and grace of your movements. 1 more time. Pushing your way back up through cobra and into a child pose. Pause here for a breath. And now make your way back into a tabletop, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And now we're going to wag the dog, looking over to maybe your left, hips to the left. Inhale through center and exhale over to your right, just drawing a C in your spine, both directions. Keep your movements lined up with your breath, but don't let it hold you back. We're just doing 3 on either side. So we're doing lateral extension of the spine. You can move your elbows and knees as you need to, or bend them rather. Now come back to tabletop and swing your arm out to the right. And then look under and follow the hand like you're reaching out to the side to grab an apple, and now you're reaching underneath to pass it to the next person. So some twisting motions around the spine. Be firm in your other table limbs, your hand and your other foot. And after 3 of those rotations, we come back to center, tabletop. And now the left arm comes out to the side and draws underneath the table. You look through. Only reach and twist as far as is comfortable for your first few movements of the practice. And after 3, you'll come back to your tabletop. Draw your hips back towards your heels into a child pose. Bend the elbows and bring the palms together. Take a breath of just rotating the hands around each other. Nice movement through the wrist, both directions. And pause here. This is the end of the warm-up. We're going to get ready for the sequence. So tune into the breath, filling the entire torso on the inhale and matching the counts with the exhale. Make your way back into a tabletop. Nice firm foundation, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. If it helps to stabilize your feet, you can tuck the toes and make sure the foundation goes out through the fingers, out through the toes, or if the tops of your feet are down, the tops of the toes. And we're going to prepare broad shoulders and navel towards spine to engage the core to prepare for bird dog and bird dog crunches. So on an inhale, draw the right heel back behind you and tuck the toes. Firm foundation with all other table legs. Draw the left arm out in front of you. Now lift the right leg behind you and then crunch. Draw the elbow towards the knee. So 3 repetitions. Exhale, draw the elbow towards the knee. Inhale, extend. Work with the breath. Even counts. Strong in your tabletop. And then reach the hand behind you and grab the foot. Hand into foot, foot into hand. Pushing down through the right hand and left toes. You can look up around to your left shoulder. Hold for 3 breaths and then release. So we'll get back into our tabletop. Prepare to do the other side. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Then tuck the left toes, push back through the left heel. Draw straight through the right arm. And then when you're ready, bring the elbow towards the knee on an exhale. Inhale, lengthen, push through the heel, stretch through the hand. Exhale, and bring the knee and elbow together. Try and keep the foundations firm and the tabletop strong. And after 3, or maybe 4, you can bring the hand and the foot together behind you for an extra twist, balance, and strengthening pose. Be broad through the chest, strong in the hand and foot supporting you. 3 solid breaths. And release 1 limb at a time. Return to your tabletop. Find your alignment and draw your hips back towards your heels. Again, bending the elbows and taking a circle with each direction for your wrists. And then draw yourself up into a tabletop. Find your alignment, your stability, and now walk your hands about a half a hand length forward. Tuck through the toes, push back through the heels, find yourself in plank. Strong core, holding your pelvis up or down, somewhere in the middle, hover. And now, one at a time, exhale a knee down, inhale up. Exhale the opposite knee down, and inhale up. We're just finding our stability and strength and some movement in the legs here. 3 on each side. And now if you wanted to be in a knee down plank, start there and inhale, extend 1 leg at a time. We're just doing both here to demonstrate, so you can choose one or the other or do both. When you've done 3 on each side, then you can lift through the hips. Bring yourself up into a downward facing dog. Keep the knees generously bent. Push through the fingers, draw up through broad shoulders, lift the hips towards the ceiling, and now extend 1 leg at a time. This is called walking the dog in downward dog. Keep the breath nice and even. Move with the breath. When you're done here, gently lower the knees and work your way back through a child pose. Twisting out through the wrists again, elbows bent. Relax over the thighs, hips towards the heels. And now we'll come up into our strong pose. Again, from plank, we're going to find sunbather. So stack the shoulders over the wrists, let the bones do the work. If your wrists are tired, you can actually make fists here. And I'm just demonstrating how we could do our warm-ups with fists and whatnot, but when you need more stability, then use the whole palm. So we're working our way back into plank. Hands are a little forward than in tabletop. Bring the right hand to the center. Come to the outside of the right foot. Your hips are going to lift. If you need more support, take that left foot across and use that for support. Now you're opening your chest and your left arm to the sky. Take a couple of breaths and move the arm up and down. Really just a nice opening. You can lift the hips as you raise the arm overhead. And again, don't push your boundaries. Just be with the breath. Bring yourself back into a plank. Nice and strong. And here we're going to show an elbow down version of plank. So we're putting the elbows directly under the shoulders. They're taking the place of the hands. Back into plank. Move the left elbow to the middle. Come to the outside of the left foot. Again, I'm using my right foot for support to keep those hips lifted. And the right arm comes up. A nice opening. If the arm motion is too much, you just need to focus on your foundation. Be strong in the core. Be broad in the shoulders. And use that top leg for support. Keep with the breath. Nice 1-to-1 ratio. And after 3 breaths or 3 arm movements, come back into plank, nice and strong. And then work your way into a child pose. One more time. See if you can roll out your wrists and relax. Maybe you extend your exhale by a count. And then we're going to work our way up into a camel, but a supported camel. So if you need to sit on a block or a blanket, that's okay. If you need a block under your hands, let your fingers face forward on the floor or the blocks. Spend a couple of breaths just being in this front side extension. So settle down, tailbone points down, lift through the chest and the crown. And on an inhale, you're going to push down through the wrists and the feet and lift through the hips, just enough to get that extension from the knees all the way up through the chin. But do keep the chin in, because you want to be kind of flat on the back side, right? From the spine up through the crown of the head. So we're doing 3 lifts here. And so feel free to increase these repetitions that we've done in 3s throughout the practice to 5. And to continue this practice and do it 3 to 5 times, starting with tabletop, bird dog crunches, plank, knee down, downward dog, and then sunbather for as much time and energy as you have for a practice. Take care to roll through the wrists in between repetitions and to take modifications where you need. And at the end of your practice, to sit or lie in quiet contemplation. Be with the breath. Allow the movements and information you've gleaned from your practice to integrate into your being before transitioning into your day. And so thank you for joining me for this practice, honoring your time and space. Namaste.